Hey everyone. Today I want to talk a little bit about safety, and then I want to get into some other topics naturally. I'm going to allow the conversation or the talk to just kind of go wherever it needs to go. First of all, safety is an illusion. This idea that you can be safe physically from anything external is an absolute illusion. It's a construct designed to keep us imprisoned. It's a construct designed to keep us under control. The control system uses this idea of safety to keep you contained, to keep you from knowing yourself, to keep us from actually harnessing our true power. It keeps us, this illusion of safety, this idea of safety, keeps us fixated and stuck in the fear of death, in the fear of you can actually die. You know, you as an infinite being can actually die as an immortal soul. So as long as you're fixated on those things, you can't actually find out or understand who you are. You can't understand and feel your nature, your true nature, something that's beyond the flesh, something that is both the flesh and beyond the flesh, that is both the physical simultaneously and the spiritual and the mental, everything, all encompassing, all that is incomprehensible to the mind, especially to the ego. The only real safety or true security, rather, is psychological. True security, true safety comes from understanding how the psyche works, understanding how the mind works, understanding that my actions and my behavior in this world has consequences. There are results. There are things that I bring to myself based off how I perform, how I act, how I behave on this planet as a human being. I am bound by that. I am bound by that, by law, by natural law, the only real true law, God's law. I am bound by that, the law of cause and effect. You understand that. You understand as within, so without. You understand the mind. You understand how the psyche works and operates. Then you can have true safety, true security, because you're no longer manifesting undesirable and treacherous dynamics in your physical experience. You now take charge of your experience. The key is now in your hand, right? Once the key was gone, once the key was lost, it wasn't gone, it was lost. It was covered up, it was buried underneath all the deceit and the lies and the beliefs that we once held. But now the key's in our hand. We understand psychology, we understand what we are, our true nature. That's the key. We understand natural law. That's the key. Hermeticism, diving into that occult tradition, which it's not occult right now, is it? It's not occult right now because I'm revealing it. I'm deocculting it. I'm expressing it. That's what I'm doing with all of my videos. I'm deocculting information. I'm bringing knowledge out of hiding. So it's no longer a secret. So it's no longer hidden knowledge. This should be common knowledge. Natural law, the mind, all of these topics that we talk about, all these topics that I get into, all these concepts, this should be common knowledge, common sense. Teaching 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80-year olds what morality is, how to behave in their life, how to take care of themselves, how to take care of other people. It should be common sense. And it is. It's sad. It's sad that we have to do this, but nonetheless, we have to do this. It's sad that this is the way it is right now, but this is the way it is right now. And so therefore, there is sort of this moral obligation for us to act. There is this sort of moral obligation to help other people to understand these dynamics that you're not taught in school. We're not taught this in school. We're not taught this by our parents. Unless your parents are awakened beings, unless your parents have gone through that work and done that work on themselves and continue to look at themselves and live in alignment with truth and harmony with natural law. Unless you have parents like that, you weren't taught this stuff. You weren't taught that safety is an illusion. You know, like, hey, Johnny, by the way, whenever the government, the news, and the CDC and everything, they say it's for your safety, it's for your safety, it's for your security, they want you entranced and trapped in this vicious cycle of fear of death, fear of death, fear of death. But more profoundly, or more significantly, we're in fear of life. We fear life. We fear living. We fear what living implies. We fear the the responsibility that truly living in the moment brings to us, that reveals within us. Because we don't want to be responsible. People don't want to be responsible for their lives. They get too much out of playing the victim. They get too much out of being a victim to circumstance, being a victim to all the things that they bring to themselves, all the trauma, all the karma. Oh, that's not mine. No, that's not mine. No, that's not mine. Everyone's pointing fingers at everybody else. That's not mine. That's that's this guy's fault. That's this girl's fault. That's this president's fault. This politician's fault. Constantly fixated on the screen, constantly blaming other people for the dynamics that we are collectively manifesting in our lives to get us to wake up. And society wants us shielded from that. Society actively shields us from the dirt, shields us from our karma, shields us from the results and the consequences of how we act and what we believe in every single moment. Society says, here's alcohol, here's Netflix, here's a smartphone, here's the education system, here's more beliefs, here's more, garbage food, here's more McDonald's, here's more stimulation, here's more, I'm not even going to say music, here's more weaponized sound waves coming through the radio. Here's more distractions. That's it. It's all it is. It's all this one big distraction, the stage of life. I'm not even going to say the stage of life. I don't like to put the term life in the world stage because what we're seeing on the world stage isn't the result of life. It isn't the result of livingness, of beingness. It's the result of ignorance and darkness and malevolence and inversions. It's the result of giving away our responsibility for security, for safety from the inevitable, for safety from not only death, but life itself. Because if there's one thing that we fear more than death, it is life. We run away, we run away, we run away for more security because we've been fed that since birth. And we can't conceive of a reality beyond our limited scope, our limited vision, our limited belief systems. And safety, external safety, physical safety, it's an absolute illusion. No one can save us from ourselves. Nothing, no one on the planet, in the universe, can save us from ourselves. We're going to continue to reap what we sow, and no one can shield us from that. Nobody can truly shield us from that. Nobody can truly numb that out of us because it's constantly just there, awaiting us to witness it, awaiting us to see it and to integrate it and to allow it into our experience so we can learn and we can grow and we can evolve. All this friction, all this fire that we bring upon our heads, we bring upon our beings, is there to purify us and get us to the next level. This entire reality is falling apart. It's shattering. The simulation is shattering right now. And there's this monumental decision that we have to make. Are you going to walk the pathless land of truth, as frightening and as unknown as it may be? Or are you going to go along with the herd, the crowd, because it's more comfortable there, because more people are doing it, because the familial bond is holding you back, because the beliefs are holding you back? Whatever it is, your relationships are holding you back. Because that decision is the most important decision of our lives. And really, it's between we're going to choose life or we're going to choose death. And I'm not talking about death like a physical death. I'm talking about death to our true selves. We're going to choose death, a spiritual death, in the sense that we are going to choose to sever our connection to Source for the rest of our life. So it's either you choose that or you choose to connect, to evolve, to grow, no matter what people are doing, no matter what people are saying, no matter what the screen says, the multiple screens say, no matter what the minions are doing around us, no matter what's going on in our environment, no matter how compelling and how, uh, vicious people are attempting to snap us back into the matrix and get us back into our pods. We ain't having it. We're not having it. I'm not having it. I'm going to stay steadfast in what I know is right, no matter what. I understand that safety is an illusion, security is an illusion, all these things that they feed, all these little words they use to get the mind tricked into believing in its malevolence, in its dictates, in its orders. We got to snap out of it and understand that safety is an illusion. And until you understand what you are, until you understand how the mind operates and how this entire realm is mental, then you'll never have the essence of safety. You'll never have the true security that you seek so um, desperately in the physical domain, only in the physical domain. You can have all the guns, all the food, all the money, all the things. You can have the most fortified, secure, safe house or whatever, but you can never be truly safe because you can never build up enough walls around you to keep you from seeing and keep you from facing yourself. And that's ultimately why we build up walls. That's ultimately why we get really big physically and we work out, or it's ultimately why we eat a lot of food. It's ultimately why we don't eat a lot of food. It's ultimately why we do everything in our life is for safety, to keep other people out. That's why we seek out attention. That's why we seek out this, and this. We want people to be fixated and highlighted on certain traits that we think are unique to us. And then, so it's acting as a shield to keep them fixated on this aspect of us, this shield that we put up. But then over here is our shadow. Over here is the stuff that we really need to be getting into. The truth of the matter. Armoring, shielding is more relevant than ever right now. People are doing everything they can to latch on and to death grip their beliefs, to death grip their ideas and the concepts they hold about how reality works. People are clinging on to the simulation. The simulation is falling, it is crumbling. So what are you going to do? What's the choice that you're going to make? Are you going to choose to live, Or are you going to choose to decay, to devolve, to stay embedded in the system and be a cog under the guise of uniqueness or under the guise of success or under the guise of whatever the hell, whatever facade that you want to put up? Are you going to continue to allow the system to shield you from your own dirt, from the consequences of your behavior, which can never actually happen? Are you going to keep running away and running away and running away? Because you can only run away so long for so long. You can only run away for so long until you have to stand still or sit still and go within. So once again, safety, security, this idea of safety and security is the classic catchphrase, the classic word that they use to snatch your mind up and keep you embedded in this idea, in this illusion, to suck away your responsibility and say, you know what? You don't want responsibility for your life? Come here, baby. Come here. I'll give you some security. That's what the system does. Until we open our eyes and we understand that that whole framework of thinking, that that concept is a fabrication, it's a fiction, it's a lie to deceive you and keep you contained and keep your power from ever being actually harnessed, and instead being shuttled into fueling the system, into fueling whatever the system wants to create, which is hell, always, as long as we're ignorant of what we are. Because hell is the result of us being ignorant of what we are. Hell is the result of us believing in things like authority, believing that we're not responsible for our lives, believing that we don't have any power and we're just these physical bodies. We got to just do our best, kill or be killed. So, what's it going to be? Life or death?